Have you ever felt that strange tension inside? The push and pull between the person you want to become and the one who seems to be holding you back. Maybe you felt inspired to make a change, to chase a dream, to finally become the best version of yourself. But then, out of nowhere, something stops you. You hesitate, you doubt, you procrastinate, you feel stuck, without really knowing why. Carl Jung, one of the most influential thinkers in psychology, called this internal resistance the shadow. It's not laziness or lack of motivation. It's deeper. The shadow is the hidden part of ourselves we try to avoid. Our fears, insecurities, shame, and self-doubt. It's the voice that whispers, "What if I'm not good enough?" Or, "What if I fail and everyone sees?" And although we try to hide it, the shadow shows up in how we think, act, and relate to the world. But here's the truth. Your shadow doesn't have to be your enemy. In fact, when you face it with honesty and compassion, it becomes your greatest source of power. The moment you stop running from your fears and start listening to them, everything begins to shift. You don't need to fight the darkness. You need to understand it. Because when you integrate your shadow, you reclaim the parts of yourself that were lost. And that's where real transformation begins. When you stop hiding and start healing. Have you ever found yourself paralyzed by your own thoughts? Trapped in a spiral of endless analysis, imagining every possible outcome, every potential failure, every reason why something might not work? You want to move forward, to take action, to change your life, but your mind won't stop spinning. It's exhausting, frustrating, and deeply disheartening. And the worst part? You start to believe that maybe something's wrong with you. But you're not broken, you're human. Arthur Schopenhauer, the German philosopher, saw this cycle as a universal human struggle. He believed we live in a constant state of desire, always chasing the next thing: success, love, freedom, purpose. But the more we want something, the more we overthink it. We become obsessed with the what ifs and the maybes. We build mental roadblocks out of fear. Fear of failing, fear of making the wrong choice, fear of imperfection. And eventually, all that overthinking turns into inaction. Our dreams stay dreams. But here's the truth. Clarity doesn't come from thinking more. It comes from doing. Action breaks the cycle. Even if it's messy, even if it's not perfect. The only way to move forward is to let go of the need for total certainty and accept that discomfort is part of the process. There will never be a perfect time or a flawless plan. Progress begins the moment you stop waiting and start doing. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need the courage to take the first step, because that's where transformation lives. We've all heard it before. You just need to stay motivated. But let's be honest. Motivation is unpredictable. Some days you feel energized and inspired, ready to conquer your goals. But most days, you're tired, distracted, pulled in 1,000 directions. You wait for that magical spark to hit, but it rarely does. And so, your dreams stay on hold, always waiting for the right time, the right mood, or the perfect energy. But what if the real secret to success has nothing to do with motivation at all? In his powerful book, Atomic Habits, James Clear flips the script. He reminds us that real change, the kind that actually lasts, doesn't come from grand gestures or motivational highs. It comes from small, consistent actions repeated day after day. Not when you feel inspired, not when conditions are perfect, but especially when you don't feel like it. Think about it. You don't build a healthy body by hitting the gym once a month after a motivational video. You build it through tiny, daily decisions. Morning stretches, a walk around the block, choosing water over soda. It's not glamorous, it's not dramatic, but it's powerful because those small habits compound over time, creating momentum and shaping your identity. The truth is, success is rarely about intensity, it's about consistency. Clear teaches us to design systems, not rely on willpower. Want to write a book? Don't wait for inspiration, just write 500 words a day. Want to start a business? Start with 15 minutes a day of focused work. These tiny actions might seem insignificant in the moment, but they build something extraordinary over time. So stop chasing motivation. Instead, build habits that carry you forward, even on the hard days. That's how real progress happens. Not in the spotlight, but in the quiet, disciplined choices you make when no one is watching. We all have dreams. Maybe it's starting your own business, writing a book, changing careers, or simply living a more purposeful life. But how many of those dreams ever make it beyond your imagination? The truth is, most people stay stuck in the space between desire and action, endlessly visualizing a better life, but never taking the steps to build it. Napoleon Hill, author of the legendary book Think and Grow Rich, believed that desire alone is never enough. You can want something with all your heart, but without a plan and the courage to act, it remains nothing more than a wish. Hill's message was clear. Thoughts are powerful, but action is everything. Too often, we convince ourselves we're not ready. We wait for the perfect moment, the flawless plan, or a sign from the universe. But while we're waiting, life is passing us by. Hill taught that success comes to those who are willing to act. Imperfectly, boldly, consistently. Not someday. Not when everything feels just right. But now. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take that first step. The difference between a dreamer and a doer isn't talent. It's action. So define your goal. Build a plan. And start even if it's messy. Because the only way to bridge the gap between what you want and what you live is to move. We live in a world that tells us to chase comfort, to take the easy route, to avoid pain at all costs. But what if everything you've been taught about comfort is the very thing holding you back? David Goggins, one of the most relentless individuals on the planet, believes that greatness is not born from comfort, but from discipline, pain, and struggle. He didn't become who he is by waiting for motivation or by choosing the easy path. He became unstoppable because he chose discomfort again and again, even when every part of him wanted to quit. Most of us run from pain. We avoid hard conversations, challenging workouts, difficult goals, because we think comfort is safety. But comfort is a trap. It keeps us stagnant. It dulls our edge. It steals our potential. Goggins teaches us something powerful. Discomfort is the path to transformation. The pain you avoid is the very thing that builds strength, grit, and mental toughness. Real growth happens when you push through, not when you pull back. When you show up on the hard days. When you keep going despite the voice in your head that says, give up. The truth is, you don't need to feel ready. You don't need perfect conditions. You need a decision, a choice to fight for your growth, to get uncomfortable on purpose. Because when you embrace the struggle, you rise beyond your limits and discover the unshakable strength that was inside you all along. So ask yourself, will you keep seeking comfort or will you get uncomfortable and grow? If there's one powerful truth we can take from all of this, it's this. Change doesn't come from waiting. It comes from doing. Too often, we let fear, overthinking, or the pursuit of comfort keep us stuck. But the most meaningful growth in life happens when we step beyond what's easy and start building what's necessary. One small action at a time. Whether you're chasing a dream, trying to break old habits, or simply want to feel more fulfilled, the path forward isn't found in motivation or perfect timing. It's in discipline, self-awareness, and daily consistency. Recognize the shadow within you. Face your fears honestly, and let them fuel your transformation, not sabotage it. Success isn't about doing everything at once. It's about showing up each day, even when it's hard, even when no one's watching. It's about building habits that support your goals, taking imperfect steps, and embracing discomfort as part of the process, not a sign you're doing it wrong. So, whatever you're working toward, start today. Start small. Stay consistent. And remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep going.